Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna go look through my college sketchbooks. So I've only completed my freshman year of college, but I already have so many sketchbooks. So I'm turning this into a series. And a little disclaimer, these are not what normal sketchbook tour on YouTube would look like. So these are gonna show the fundamentals of drawing and fundamentals of design. They're not gonna look pretty and have a bunch of characters and designed well throughout the pages. They're not gonna be completed works of art. They're gonna have practice pages and you're gonna see how we practice certain things in our sketchbook, not filling up a page to make it look pretty. That's not what these are about. And that's the reason I kind of wanted to show them, because I know a lot of people think that a sketchbook should look pretty and nice when it doesn't have to. It's your safe space to be able to practice certain things. And in my case, it was fundamentals because I was taking classes on fundamentals. So that's my little spiel. We'll start with my drawing class. So this first part here is just like a little folder that I put in here. This is just a piece of paper with tape on the sides that did not come in the sketchbook, but it's just notes and papers that we got during the quarter that have to do with drawing and stuff. So this first page, we're basically learning about line and doing contour lines stuff. And you'll see how I gradually get better throughout the semester with my lines, or in the quarter. So even I mess up. Also, these are removable, so they're gonna keep popping up. Something I like about this sketchbook, it's the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that is the name of that. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, make a fool of myself. We were practicing line, and not to go back over the line and stuff, so this is kind of wrong, but this would help us with our first project. Most of these sketchbooks are for practicing and planning out our projects. These are flowers. Shoot, this is way better than the first few. This is a wooden bird that I had at home. It's a better detail of it. I don't know why it was so crooked. A hat. My shoe. These were thumbnails of the project that we actually did. It was like this accordion piece, so each slide was bent a certain way, and it was supposed to tell a story, so I used all of these. And yeah, I think it came out interesting on this page. A random line. This is where we started exploring negative space, and so we would pick a random composition and then color in the negative space with whatever we wanted. We're just supposed to concentrate on interesting shapes within the composition, which is kind of what negative space is all about. Some scribbles. I was gonna say hatch marks, but they're not. It's kind of scribbling / hatchy. This kind of turned out interesting. I wish I didn't leave this whole blank spot right here. There was something else there. This is my trash can, by the way. You probably can't tell. It's one of those like metal framed with the cool. Not the best working trash can, but when you put a trash bag in it, it's fine. This is where we started working with draw through, so we draw through the shape. and you can kind of see where my ellipses were. But we were also measuring and making sure everything was lining up and proportionate to each other. And also checking angles. That's something else we were learning in this drawing class. Most of these weren't that interesting, but just making sure we... And when I took other drawing classes, I started to understand draw through and everything else. These were just, again, practicing. Thumbnails for another project. So these two were supposed to be like, so it's the opposite of each other. Content, upset. Energetic, tired. Uneasy, calm. Organized, unorganized. And we're supposed to kind of have that feeling with how we stacked in the items in our composition. Another practicing draw through. And then these got to more complicated items, so controller, Nightbird. So these weren't just like boxes and cylinders. Those are pretty easy to draw. These were a little bit more complicated to try and draw. This one not so much, but you get the idea. These are so thick as well. Really thick pages. You could probably ink with these and it'd be okay for the most part. This is where we started learning perspective and how to draw boxes with perspective. And then going from a box to a circle, if you can see my circles in there. So that's kind of like a design, like drawing for design type deal. So you'd use drawing for design if you were going into something with industrial design, or you're going into like make toys or furniture design or something to that nature. You'd want to take a drawing for design class and learn how to get from square to shape so you can draw stuff from your imagination. You'll understand what I mean later. I will show you a few pieces that I did that would kind of correlate with that. Again, we were learning perspective, so we went outside of the classroom to learn perspective in the hallways, and this is going down the stairs. And then in that same position I was looking up the stairs. This is the hallway. This turned into a bigger piece. And then here's what I was talking about when I said drawing for design. So I started out with a box and then decided I'd put another box, but this isn't perspective. So we also have to worry about the perspective. And then from that, I was able to draw these lines and get a half circle and then straight down to create an arched doorway. And then from the square here, I was again able to cut it into to find the middle and then create a circle around it. So that's kind of what I mean by these were all made from imagination. Didn't see that very well, did you? And then from that you would kind of add in shading and seeing where the light's coming from to make it a more 3D realistic object. Little barnhouse, I feel like. Yeah. Farmhouse style, yeah. So we were also going to do a big piece on perspective outside. So I went to a park. This is kind of the initial thumbnail here. But we also wanted to learn, she gave us a few like study pages to study from on how to do the landscape around it. So most of the time you just do like hash marks and stuff. You wouldn't, you know, go in and draw a leaf by leaf or anything like that. Very light thumbnails that you really can't see. This was thumbnails for our final project. So for our final project, it was a still life, and then we had to do half of it inside class and half of it outside of class. We had 2 sheets of paper that we were going to do it on, but you could square it off like it was here, but it could be out of class, and this one could be in class, and this one could be out of class, and this one in class. So you can switch it up, and it was just meant to look like this whole, like, it's supposed to kind of go together and look like it was one cabinet. It was like a mystery cabinet type deal was the prompt. But yeah, that turned out really nice. Says this is an orange up there. So this is orange. We are learning how to do planes in this. So planes are a flat surface, and then so this is a plane and this is a plane, and where you would draw that line is where the figure or whatever you're drawing is bending. So like a line on my arm would be here because the shape is bending. So you would draw that line there to kind of mark out where you would put a value to start with. So with the lights hitting here, most of this would be light, but then you would see it start getting darker, so you'd shade in that area, but you'd know where to start shading if it was the object was turning. I did not do so well on my first try. You can tell I wasn't very good at it. I got better as I took more drawing classes because I began to understand, because I did not understand what planes were or anything like that. Jeans, I think. And then we were shading here, so we're learning value. So this is the finished piece, and we're supposed to label the different types of lights and shadow. And that is the end of this sketchbook. I'm gonna cut it off here because this is already 14 minutes long, and I don't know how long this is actually gonna be. Probably not that long, but if you want to come back for episode number 2, we will be going over my design class. And this is much thicker and has a lot more process into it than this one. So if you are excited about this one, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch this next one, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when this next episode is uploaded. I will talk to you guys next time.